being extremely realistic there. Now, just this fixture ahead of us couldn't be more one-sided on paper. I mean, the last 5 meetings they have in Anfield have an aggregate score of 20 goals. 2-1. But let's talk about the appointment, the third manager of the season. Now, there wasn't a lot of noise linking Pearson to Watford. Were you surprised to hear the news, Kevin?
Yes and no, because I think they wanted a British manager. I do know that Sam Allardyce was very close to maybe agreeing to go there. And then when he sort of stepped back from it, I think Pearson, when you look at the record, what he has, I think it makes sense that they've got a British manager, knows the game, going to go in and sort of give a few players a kick up the backside, what looks like what's needed for me.
Yeah, and what Nigel has just said is, today's game is about his 11 and any subs he used actually getting closer to the level that they're capable of playing at, because as individuals and as a group of players at Watford this season, they've totally underperformed.
And I think with Nigel that I worked with when I was a young player, you know what you're going to get from him, and he will come in there, he will make sure he will steady the ship, he will make sure everybody is disciplined at what you ask him to do. And you won't be surprised if it might not happen to this game, but going forward, you will see that Watford become more and more organised in terms of the defensive shape and going forward, because they've been leaking goal left, right and centre, that's been the deficit.
Now, before I want to bring forward the conversation, Kevin, you were mentioning about Sam Allardyce was being in the conversation, but he stepped back. What do you mean by that? Well,
basically, I think it just wasn't for him. I think he's someone. Sam's one who wants to get back in the game, definitely. And I think when he's had a look at it and he's had a look round and stuff of what he could do, I think the biggest thing for him now is he's a family-orientated man and he wants to stay closer to home. And I think he would have had to move away from home and stuff like that. So for me, I don't think it was probably the right way for that. I don't think he didn't back himself to actually get them out of the relegation scrap. I think it was just personal circumstances of wanting to stay at home and have a job and be able to go home at night to his wife Lynn. That's where it was really.
Yeah. But when you look at Watford's position, 9 points from 16 games, they need somebody who's got a track record of getting a group of players together, grinding out points somehow. Sam Allardyce has that record. He's a lot more than just that. He's a very good coach, as Kevin will tell you, worked under him as, I don't think Fabrice, it's before your time, wasn't it? But Nigel Pearson kind of fits that bill to me. The Pozzo family, the owners of Watford Football Club...
It's a very un-Watford-like appointment, that's the thing.
Well, yes, because the Pozzo family have tended to appoint European coaches. But as Kevin said, I think they feel that they need that British grit, and Nigel Pearson is who they're backing.
But also you have to understand this is more or less the same team that got to the semi-final, the FA Cup last year. So you have to really wonder what went wrong from that situation to where they are now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Nigel Pearson is having Troy Deeney back. Because he's been out for a long time now, Troy, and the biggest thing he brings you is he's a captain who leads by example on the pitch as well. And they've missed that, and you can tell in training things might have got. It looks like things were getting a bit sloppy. People were getting away with things. He wouldn't have that. I expect Troy Deeney, with the character he's had, he's got around a few of them since he's come back in training, going, I ain't having that. I'm not. He reminds. As a captain, he's very vocal and he reminds me a bit of me. If I didn't see one of my players and I thought he's underperforming here, I'd go and give him a bit of a kick up the backside. And I think that's going to be a massive help to Nigel Pearson, because as Troy Deeney, that's his club, so he won't be wanting to be in that situation he's in.
Sure.
So with the record that Pearson has with Leicester especially, I think that's the recent one we most remember him by, but we need to look back again to the times he was at Carlisle United as well, where he also had another sort of similar situation. He's also assistant to Brian Robson as well at that point. So he's got a lot of experience, like you guys said. Can he do the same with Watford?
Well, there's still quite a lot of time, quite a lot of games to play from now on to the end of the season. So with Nigel experience, and you've got a transfer window to come in January. So if they can reinforce the squad and try to tweak in and get a result here, but then hopefully it will look more positive, more glamorous going forward from January. But this is a big game start from today. Liverpool's a big team. They're playing really, really well at home. You have to say, getting a result at Anfield, it looks a bit impossible. But going forward, if they can show a good sign in terms of how they play today, It's always been there.
I think this is a free shot for them today because nobody is expecting, you know, bottom of the league Watford to get anything from top of the league Liverpool. 37 points between the two sides. You know, in the history of the Premier League, no two teams have ever played each other before Christmas, and there's been 37 points difference. You know, it's chalk and cheese, but we know what football can be. You know, it can bring up the odd shock.
I think the biggest thing today, what we'll see and what we'll obviously see in the next couple of hours, is that if Watford go there and play to their maximum ability, even if Liverpool play to their maximum, Watford are not going to come out of this game with any points. No. But if Liverpool just come off it a bit, bring off that foot off the gas pedal just a little tiny bit, it might just give Watford just that little teeny bit of hope, and that's all they're open for. When you're going as a bottom side team to a top team who are on top form, that's what you're hoping. You're hoping that they're thinking, right, we just got to stroll through this, and that's what Watford will be thinking. And Nigel will be saying to his players, let's hope that they think they've already won. Let's hope that they think that they're already going to go on with 3 points, and we can capitalise that.
Yeah, Watford can't score goals. It's true, but the one little
they
bit
can last season.
last season, history.
Troy Deeney as well.
Yeah, and Troy Deeney, but they're struggling to score goals. Yeah. But if you have a little look at it, the hope for Watford is that Liverpool don't keep clean sheets this season at Anfield. Yeah, they still go on and win, but you know there is an opportunity for them to score a goal, and goals can change games. Having said that, Liverpool will win.
Okay, just a quick one though. Yes or no? Will he save Watford from relegation?
I think it's going to be difficult. I think if Sam Allardyce would have got the job, he would have. I think because Nigel Pearson, and no disrespect to Nigel Pearson, I think he's been out the game now for 5 years. He went to Belgium, he got sacked from the Belgium side he was at.
Lovren, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it might just be a bit too much of an ask. I really hope he does, because I like Nigel, but I think it's just going to be a bit too much of an ask.
So it's a no for you?
It's a no for me.
What about you, Fabrice?
I'll say Nigel, keep them up, let Aston Villa got down. I'm a Birmingham fan, so nothing personal, like, you know. They need to come down a little bit.
One thing is for sure, Watford will be a lot closer to safety at the end of the season than they are now under Nigel Pearson. Can he go that extra little bit? I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes. So 2 yeses and 1 no. But either way, if they do get relegated, Pearson's the perfect man to bring them up again.